Hello everyone and welcome back to Barossa Valley Crafts. So today what I'm going to show you is some easy cards to make with scraps. Over the years you tend to build up a lot of scraps, and so this is going to be some easy ways to use them. So here's one that I have made. But how I store my scraps is I have A4 size folders, and then I just put the scraps into one. Like I've got one with smooth white, one for greens, one for pearl cards, one for yellows, and so on. And that's how I store my scraps. And by doing this, I found that I use a lot less card because I'm not cutting into something when I only need something little. So off we go. I'm just going to show you some little cards that you can do just to help use up some of these scraps. So what I did earlier was I cut a lot of my card into just little strips. So I've done 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch strips, and yeah, that's what I'm making the cards with. So you can use any papers that you like. So let me show you and see how we go. So to start with, I've already pre-done some of them because otherwise it would be taking too long to show how they were all done. So with this one, this particular one is 5 by 4 inches, and I've just drawn with a pencil across on it to make the separate compartments, and then I will just glue the ones onto this section so you can see how it was done. So all I've done, actually I'll use the other glue, I'll use this one. So I've just covered the area that I'm going to put the papers on with glue. Some people use double-sided tape, and it's totally up to you and what you prefer. So I just pop these on. Don't worry too much if it doesn't line up exactly, because we're going to cover that over anyway. So use whatever you like in the way of colours. And blue. So that's that. So it's easy enough to do. And then I've cut some really, really thin strips, and that's what I'm going to put over like where they join. So I'll just do a thin strip of glue there, and another one there, and just place a black. You don't have to do black, you can do whatever colour suits you, but I just do black because I think it looks good and it just defines the areas a bit. I'll put another bit down here, and then just trim it off. There we go. And then when you're trimming the excess off, do it from the back, and you can either do it like I'm doing it here, or if you have a trimmer, you can trim it off with one of those, which makes it a lot quicker. There we go. And that gives you your card. And from there, you would then attach to your base card. Again, you don't have to have a base card, that's totally up to you. There we go. Now you can actually see up here, I've got a tiny little bit of white showing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over that with a thin black marker to try and hide that a bit. You could trim it off if you wanted to, but there we go. It's going to right up in the corner of it. So just, there we go. So now it just hides that a little bit. And from there, you would just place it onto your card base. So you would then just pop it onto a card base and then add the sentiment of your choice. So that's one. So now we'll try another one. So with this one, I'll just put that on. I don't want the glue to dry in the tip. So with this one is 4 inches by 5 inches. And I've just drawn some lines like that on the card, and that will be my base, like the base lines of where I'm going to place the cards. So again, from the strips that I've already cut out, I just pick them up and we'll again cover that area with glue. Some people use the tape that's on rolls and put that on, so it's whatever works for you. And then we'll just put the card on. So I'm not doing any particular order, it's just whatever I grab. You try not to do 2 colours of the same, like next to each other in the same direction, just to give it a bit of clarity to what you're doing. There's another pink bit. What have we got here? Multicoloured piece. Okay, there's another bit that can go there. Now I've got a little tiny spot here, so I'm just going to tear off a little bit, and I might need to pop a bit of glue there. I'll pop that in. Okay, then I'll get my trimmer again and trim off the excess. Okay, doesn't matter if you miss it the first time, you can always come back for a second bite, but it's very hard to put back what you've already cut off if you cut it in the wrong spot. So that's where sometimes it's actually probably better to trim with scissors, but it takes a bit longer too. So now we're just going to put the black strips on. A bit of glue. So these particular bottles, I just bought these and I just put the glue into those. You don't buy them with the glue, and it's really good when you want to do just little fine lines like what I'm doing now. Put that one on there. Trim that up. And then put the other ones on. So you don't have to do the same patterns that I've done here. You can move them around to give you different shapes. Like you could do another one down here if you wanted to. So you've got another direction. Just depends how much time you want to spend on it, because it can be time consuming. I think the longest part is cutting out your cardstock into your strips or your papers. Okay, trim that one up. And then again, pop it onto a base card, a matte card. And then you could add another sentiment. And again, the beauty of these is you can have whatever sentiment you like to suit the occasion that the card is for. And then again, add it to your base card with your chosen sentiment, having it whichever way you like. Okay, so that's another one. And we'll go on to another one. So with this one, it's just very simply just stripes. But what I've done is made them all joining up at different levels. So with this one, let's see, we might do we do a pink and a purple and then the blue. It should be okay. Because it can be messy if you get glue everywhere too. This one is 5 1/4 inches by 4 1/4 inches, but again, you can make them to do whatever size you want. It doesn't have to be the sizes that I've got here. Okay, trim that one off. And then just add the last strip on here. You can see it's a funny shape, but given what it is, it really doesn't matter that much. Just pop that on there. Make sure you use a glue that dries clear. So if, like, I've got a little bit of glue on the outside of that now, but because it dries clear, you won't be able to see it once it's dry. Okay, so you can see I've got quite a bit hanging over the edge here, so I'm going to use my trimmer. I'm not overly steady-handed when it comes to cutting those sort of things, so just trim that bit off. And then, actually with this one we can put a black bit here, so trim that to the size that you need. You don't have to add these black bits, I just like to hide those little joins. It's up to you, you don't have to do that. And we'll pop that one on there. And then again, we'll put it onto a base card, a matte card. Actually, some of these would look nice, so even with a blue or white, where I've got the little black pieces, be all right. Onto the matte card, and then again attach to your base card and add a sentiment of your choice. You could have that one going that way. Actually, that one looks all right that way, so you can have them going either way. And if you wanted to, if you're doing this, you could even put little tiny black strips where you've got all the joins downwards if you wanted to as well. Just depends how intricate you want to make it. Now the last one's just a little bit different. So with this one, I had some paper like this, so I've cut it, and I'm adding strips to the bottom part. So I'll just continue doing those. It's just like a cross effect or a lattice work over the decorative papers. And there we go. And I'll put one more piece up on the corner. And trim those up. And then with this one, just to give it a little bit more, I've added some little pearls. I think, yeah. Oh, where's my tweezers? There we go. So I've just popped some little pearls where the lattice work crosses over. These are great little things. They're sticky on the back. Okay, so now we're going to add that to the bottom of the card, the base card. If you wanted to, you could do a matte layer before you put this on the base card. For this one, we'll just do it like this. Push that on, and then the other bit up the top. Of course, if you're using directional paper doing this, you need to make sure it's all in the right directions. And then just lining it up. This glue's got a little bit of wiggle room, so you've got a bit of time to move it into place. And then with this one, I've just stamped Happy Birthday onto a white bitter card, and I've then put it on a black matte card. And I've just got some foam tape on the back. Just peel those off. And then, oops, attach this to the card. So they're just very easy, and you don't have to necessarily do the designs I've done. You can make any design you like. And use your own imagination, because we're only limited by our imagination. So there we go. There's that one done. So that's just some easy ways to make some cards. And I hope you've enjoyed this. It's a very quick tutorial. And if you've liked it, please give me the thumbs up. And feel free to subscribe by just clicking on the little subscribe button, and if you click the little bell, I think you get notified when I do a new tutorial. And please feel free to come and join me on my Facebook page, Card Making for Beginners, or Barossa Valley Crafts, or both if you like. And feel free to share anything that you've made from my tutorials onto the Facebook page. Thank you very much, and hopefully you've enjoyed this. Bye.